I don't think. Yeah. Is your mic muted also on this thing? Gary on Zoom? Yeah, it might be. No, it's not.
No, it's not muted.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yep. I can hear you. Open door. Look at my hair, luscious. you know, you know. Great way to start the episode. You just 40
Oh, we
seconds ago.
started just now? What?
Yep,
You know,
yep.
All right.
It's
Okay, we starting. We starting.
yeah.
we were supposed to start at 8 o'clock, guys, but like this did happen. But we are here now, and this is this is your this is your favorite podcast that you don't know about yet. You
Ooh.
don't even know about it yet. It's gonna be your favorite podcast of all time. This
I
is
like
this
that. I like
this
that.
is the CTU show where we have you know you if you've been with us the last two episodes, you already know who the guys are. We got Crownless to my left.
Oh, the dish,
You already know. You know. Introduce yourself. You already know.
you know what I mean? All right. Oh, my mic is muted. Oh, no, that's all. All right. Obviously, you listen to word. So today, I'm gonna just play XCOM while we play. Unique. I'm pretty sure you know about XCOM. Very tactical game, very slow paced. You know, but I've been feeling it lately. It's been pretty fun.
Listen,
So
listen.
and
You have
to the man on the other side of the world, on the other side of the universe, you got a great fable about to be unraveled right now. My
Okay.
name's Unique Story. So
uh huh
let's get it
uh huh.
started. And
Mm-hmm.
let's
Bring
get it
that energy,
started.
huh? Bring that energy.
Listen, I know you guys seen me the last episode with my hair actually done. I actually took my hair out today. Really boring. A lot of boring time. Also, you already know it is your boy Trey Guns. But you know, today is the day in the life of a New Yorker. Every day of your life. How do you love New York? How do you love New York? Unique. How do you love it?
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of don't love New York, and I kind of do love New York. It's a little bit. It's a little bit of a hate love relationship.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm not gonna lie, it could be better. It could be better. I don't know New York like I should know New York. That's probably where my hate comes from.
Where does most of your hate come from? Like, what do you mean? Like, in a sense of like transportation, you know, like extra
Um,
things.
I think part of my love hate relationship comes with you know
Uh,
it comes from a feeling that like you there's not you don't see everything that's here, but then you see everything that's here. For the people that live here, they know what that means. For the people that don't, I'll explain. Uh, when you're walking through Manhattan, you're walking through a particular street and you're new, um, or just any place, in New York City,
yeah.
um, you can see something that's just generally like, yo, Empire State Building, the burnt down Twin Towers, the other stuff that's around the corner, and it's interesting for the first time, but the second time it's a little bit like, oh yeah, it's still cool, and then the third time it becomes, you know, uh, just a normal day. You're just going by over and over and over. It becomes a little bit too rinse and repeat. And I think that that's exactly the love hate that I have with New York City is that, even though there's a lot that's around, a lot of stuff that you can do, that's the love between it.
Yeah.
There's still stuff that you've already done that is kind of the hate. You're not getting that uh, new
Feeling every time.
Yeah, new feeling every
Yo,
time.
John, do you have War of the Chosen?
I don't know necessarily. I feel like me. I feel like me myself being in New
Right.
York my whole life. I traveled maybe the farthest I've been in New York is from the Bronx
It's all good. All right, so
uh
this is still
to
amazing.
Manhattan.
Thank you
I've
for hearing
never
me.
I've been to
Matter of
Brooklyn.
fact, you
I've
talk
been
a
to
lot. We
Brooklyn
have a lot
maybe
of
like
entertainment.
twice. No, really 3 times. And I was only to go to Barclays Center. I've never really been to any other thing other than I've never been to Long Island. I've never been to uh like I went to Queens maybe
Staten
one
Island,
time, but I've never been to like Staten Island. I've never been to like places like that. But it's kind of fun. Kind of I the only thing I do love about New York is like everything is really like really dead seriously right
really
close.
good.
Nothing is far away. There's the farthest thing like everything's like a train ride or a bus ride right away. It's literally like that. Transportation is really, really great. And working up here is not too. And working here is pretty fun. You see a lot of amazing things outside sometimes. How you feel about that, Carlos?
Uh, pretty much. I would be. I'm on your side. I agree with your sentiment. Like I've been out here about 2 years, and I've seen a lot. Like I've been everywhere, pretty much aside from Staten Island. Like I've only been there like a couple of times. It's okay. But it's like for me, it's like the city is just a town. Honestly, it's just a town upscale. It's like the same shit you would see in a town is the same shit you see out here. It's like yeah, there's spots where there's glitz and glamour, but it's like I have like the right comparison. You know, like for example, everybody used to hype me up about Times Square. They're like, yeah, the lights, the magic, the shit that's out there. Well, you know what I seen out there for like half of the time I look out there, bro, I see bums. Like, and it's like I understand, like not everybody's housed and fed and whatnot. I think it's whack that they got to be out there, but like they're out there, like they're out there in droves, bro. They on the train, on the fucking buses, on the street corners, bro, and they're everywhere. So like, word after a while, I took the rose tinted shades off, and it was just like, yo, you know what? It is what it is out here. It's not as pretty as like people make it seem. Don't get me wrong, it's great. It's the town.
It's the best place in America. Sometimes it is the best place in America. Sometimes it becomes probably like the worst spot to be in. Sometimes there'll be days.
Growing up seeing all those inner city jokes, it's like I get it.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's especially during
especially if you go to 125th and Lex. Yo, let's talk about it.
Oh no,
that shit crazy.
You wanna talk about going to Harlem on like your worst. Going to Harlem sometimes is like the worst thing you could do at certain times. I do not like going to 125th. I do not like going there. I get my hair done down there sometimes, and it's like I hate going. It's like a different world. It's like a really, really different world. You have nothing but
tell me about it.
You have nothing but homeless people on every block.
Homeless people, drug addicts.
Drug
addicts. Very sad thing to look at.
Like and it's like nobody fixes their and the community is always been dirty, and it's like it has yet to be better. Like you have people,
city crack roads. Nobody want to improve nothing.
You got people selling like regular DVDs and stuff like that outside, taking up the whole sidewalk. Like, come on, I don't want to get your bootleg. I don't want your bootleg DVD of Spider-Man 3. I really don't. I don't
want your bootleg. I don't want this. It's like, bro, they'll have people selling cigarette packs outside.
Yeah.
Like, right. I mean, that was normal. Like, I used to see that a lot, but it was like, bro.
It's a lot more crazy. It's a lot more crazier. And
very crazy.
It gets more and more worse out there. It's like the homeless. Like, yeah, they all outside and they're like taking over that community.
So let me ask you a question now. How do you I'm not you're not a you're not in the government, so obviously this is not a professional opinion, but in your opinion, like what do you expect that New Yorkers do though? What do you expect?
New Yorkers.
What do you propose that New Yorkers should start doing to help offset or help with the
homeless problem,
the homeless situation, the homeless pandemic?
You're either gonna have to start instead of building those big giant skyscraper buildings, stop doing them. I don't want another skyscraper in a big giant condo that costs like an arm and a leg to live in. I really don't want
Okay,
that.
tell me more.
So can we start building more shelters? Can we give them their own set of buildings, that they can live and sleep in? And, you help them go get a job, start programs for them. But I don't think New York really doesn't care about that. They care about the next biggest building and how much rent can we really put on people.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think it's more on that. I don't think it's more on um them being like, oh yeah, let's let's help the community itself instead of building
But that,
a Whole Foods or something in a community, and then you're just like basically what you're doing already is just gentrifying the community by building these certain buildings. You're making sure that these people are ahead of the gun instead of helping their own community, the lower people, the poor, anybody who's homeless, and they don't really care about
Okay.
them.
Okay.
I like that.
Um.
I do like that. The reason why I say it's a lot, bro, is because yes, like in a general sense, that is what we could do. We could take a building, throw all the homeless people in there, and have them sort themselves out. The problem is each and every case of a homeless individual is not the same thing.
Yeah,
And the same umbrella like solution isn't really gonna apply to them. Like let's take a couple of drug addict homeless people. It's like, okay, you have the shelter now, but you still don't have the capacity to be able to like follow through with these payments
hmm
and like secure your position here. You know, or like you'll have a guy that's like a thief. It's like you give him food, bed, and housing. That's great. To act. I really hope my Zoom call did not just fucking turn off.
no, no, no,
Okay,
no,
no, we
no,
did.
no, no, it's back, it's back.
I was about to be yo. Anyways, it's exactly like that, gang. Oh, the way this looks, huh? It's like fact. It's like yo, it's a case by case thing, and unfortunately, it's just a lot of people that we really have to look at with the case by case.
Yeah,
It's like we can definitely give them the umbrella housing, but not everybody will be not accepting to it because it's like it's free housing. It's
yeah,
just to maintain it is something I don't think would happen for a lot. Only because of that vice grip that they have on whatever's holding them back in the first place. You know what I mean? So for that, it would have to be both on our front to be willing to help them out, but at the same time, we would have to be able to have the proper time and resources to work to
hmm
help them work through whatever they're going through. Or else it'll be a mute point. Yeah, because it's like spoiling a child. Like you're good when they're younger, but when they get older and they realize that all that spoiling is just turning them into shit.
yeah.
There's not really much you can do.
No, really, you're definitely not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. Not at all. Definitely not.
Like,
Because I feel like I feel like a lot of people who are homeless are either you know, they did have it could be maybe their house burned down, maybe they came home from like maybe being in the army or something. That does happen where people come home and they have nothing.
definitely.
Um, but then there's so much of them that it's like who how can you tell what's the difference between each one? Like you would see guys who
Exactly.
you see the guys who are collecting cans, garbage and doing all that stuff. You have those guys, and then you also have the ones that are just shooting up drugs the whole night. That's and they on the train the whole night. They just walling
That's right.
and they
Yeah,
walling. So
exactly.
so it's hard to help each individual is really hard to help. It is. How do you feel about that, Unique? Are you looking over there?
Um. To tell the truth, I don't have an answer. I honestly I don't have an answer for this situation. Like there's a nuance. Like Gary said, there's a situation that doesn't fit the umbrella for everyone. So obviously you have to get very specific. Um, so I do agree with Gary on that. I think some things can be done that do apply on a broad sense, maybe not an overall in general, but definitely
Mm-hmm.
reach a broad perspective, like broad area of people that are homeless. Definitely giving them the opportunity and support. Having maybe, I don't know, for I don't have too much information on this, but having maybe a psychologist or a psychiatrist that's maybe out in the field, with whatever service that a shelter gives. I do know some one shelter in particular, they do accept people in, um, and like many, they reach a certain capacity, but they could probably send some people out just to search for people, be like, listen, we have a place here, we have a place here, you know uh being active, I guess, on the part of the shelters, a little bit more active in certain situations, but having like that mental support, mental uh psychiatrist or psychologist,
Hmm.
maybe having some students, some undergrads get into that as like an
I think that.
extracurricular, or probably an internship or something, at least have a way to help individuals that are down bad
Mm-hmm.
gain some confidence, gain some motivation, and help them at least mentally towards the path of coming back, because
Hmm.
that's probably, as far as I understand, probably a difficult situation
Mm-hmm.
to kind of gain a foothold in like your mental state, because it's a warfare as if you're homeless. Like, you don't have
Yeah, I'm
the
here, bro.
time to worry about everything else. You're trying to survive. It's what is it? It's like Jean-Jacques Rousseau, the philosopher, said about
Hmm.
the state of man. When they were hunting, when they were eating, there was no anxiety, so on and so
Mm-hmm.
forth. Like, there was only, what am I gonna do to get the next meal? Where am I gonna go? How am I
Mm-hmm.
going to get this done? And I essentially believe it's the same way when you're homeless. You're focused on the next meal, the next place to sleep.
Trying to
How are
survive
you
in
gonna
this.
get out the cold?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's that
Because
survival instinct.
they're only in, and I believe the mayor of New York was trying to help them. I think he has a plan of helping them,
Oh,
which is like making
Yeah.
sure that they're not sleeping in any train stations, making sure that they're like in better suited for
Yeah.
everything.
I agree with y'all, but that's when it really, that's when I feel like the case by case thing happens. Like, let's take a good quote that I hear all the time. You can lead the horse to water, but you can't get them to drink.
Uh-huh.
You know, and it's like that's just the unfortunate truth. It's like, I've known a relative that went through the shelter system, and he gave me firsthand accounts of a lot of people that, like, they had the opportunity to make something of it,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't. They just wanted to fuck around. They wanted to keep, letting whatever vices, get to them, and they ended up losing whatever shit that they had, and it created a worse situation. And then it's like, at that point, it's like, okay, we gave you the extension. We gave you the hand to hold, to, like, hold you down, and you just slapped away. So from there, it's like, what more can you do? And on the surface, it sounds fucked up, but like, it's not, because it's like that goes for everybody. It's like, you can only receive help if you actually want to receive the help.
Yeah.
you know. So it's like we can go head over heels for them. Be like, yeah, bro, we have this for you. We have this situation. We have this job system. We can get you through here. But it's like, if you don't want to get up and do that, then, like, you can't really,
Yeah.
like,
Because
you know,
it's like it's like if you're not gonna help yourself, then who's gonna help you? Like
exactly.
how you want us to help you and you're not willing to even help yourself? How you not wanting
Right.
to, you know, go get a job or something? Like it's hard. It's hard to really sit there and like help every single person, but like
Whereas,
it's
uh,
it's like the few guys you do see in like Manhattan, the guys that I mostly sit down and I'll probably like maybe have a conversation with or even buy them some food is if I see you like kind of hustling and doing like if you're sitting there, you have like wild carts of cans and you're like OD collect like ODing and making sure that you
Mhm.
can like make sure that I'm trying to get this next meal. Like, yo, listen, I'll give you the money
I'll
for it.
text you. I got you.
I'll buy you it right there in hand. So it's like
That's true.
it's more of that. It's more of if you see somebody actually helping themselves, you're going to be more and more likely to be like, you know what, hey, I'll go out my way to help them more than anything. You rather than the guys who are kind of like sleeping on the train, you can see that they probably, you know, they've been there the whole night, drugged up the whole night, and they're not doing it.
That's a
You
fact.
I think that's a little bit of a problem here because that kind of takes away from the nuance that we were talking about. Like some people, yes, they want to continue to use drugs, but a person that is a little bit more,
Yeah, I think so too.
What's up?
Somebody in the chat
Take your time.
All right, well, I'll continue.
Oh,
he said people who should be people who work should be the first ones to get assistance with housing. I believe Don J. Yeah, I definitely believe that. Definitely not wrong, John. Definitely not.
that dude,
Definitely not wrong.
John, I do agree with
I'd
you.
say
Definitely.
I'd say so. I'd say
Because
that's
it's
a
like,
good idea. But
it's like, all right, from being a person in that situation, it's like, yes, you do have to show that you're proactive. It's like nobody's gonna know that you need help unless you go out and tell somebody that you need help.
Yeah.
Or like nobody's gonna want to help you when you take the help and then you go do something dumb with it. Like for example, it's like let's say you give somebody $5 to $10 on the street and they just go around, they just bought crack. It's like at that point you did the most that you could by helping them.
Yeah.
But as you see, that's their intention. There's not much you can do about that. And like,
so this is why I disagree with it because I disagree with just a small portion of this. The reason I say that is because I disagree with it is you have individuals that have a mental state that applies to their motivation to succeed. Now, when you're in a certain situation and you're down bad, when you're depressed, which I'm assuming to some degree a lot of homeless individuals are, which is probably the reason either depressed, anxious, or they're dealing with some type of overwhelming emotion. I believe that to some degree is the reason individuals go to drugs as a way to either get a high or to take away to some degree some type of pain.
I do
and
agree with
it
you
in
there.
excess.
Yeah.
Now it becomes an addiction because they, their body fuels for it. It desires it because it leaves you in a state of biological dependence on it. So I think looking at the individuals that are just drugging up every day and just being like, well, you're not helping yourself by trying this. That's a hard ask to ask somebody. That's someone that is so mentally like infused into something that they can't see their way out of it. Clearly.
I'm gonna get a water. I'm gonna get a water.
Bet. My thing is, it's hard for me. Like I agree with you, but it's like I've seen it firsthand. It's like you really can only help somebody to a certain extent before you have to realize that you can't. It's like I know that it sounds fucked up, but it's just the truth. Like we're not heroes. And if anybody gets my name, Crownless King, like that I believe in that strongly. There are no heroes out here. Like there are just people, there's shit you gotta do. And for some people you need help. I get that. When it comes to the drug obsessions and whatnot, I do agree with you. That's why I said it's a vice grip. But it's like, at the very least, I know that somebody even going through that has the capacity to at least acknowledge that somebody wants to help them. So, like, prime example, let's take like an alcoholic. It's like you drink up every day, you're wilding, you're acting out, doing whatever. You have somebody here that wants to help you. Now, I don't know the full insides of the mind of an alcoholic because I stopped drinking. But it's like, that I'm here, pretty much. Like, you see me here trying as hard as I can. Like, the only thing I can't do is, like, strangle you. Like, stop fucking drinking. Just freaking oh, Curdo. Like we can't do that. We got to be there to like exactly. We have to be understanding of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying my best to be understanding. Like yes, I'm giving you leeway.
Okay.
Get the chances.
So,
But then, like I'll give you a prime example. It's like if I took a drug addict and said, "Yo, we're going to rehab," because you say yourself that you don't have the capacity to get this help, I'm gonna get it for you. Here's the rehab. Here's the AA. Let's go. And you don't go. There's only so much I can do from there.
Yeah.
Because it's like I can't keep telling you to go. Go ahead.
So this is where that, like I said again, the addiction, the desire to continue to use it is it's not just it's not a mental thing, but it's also a biological thing. Like to some degree, yes, you can mentally fight yourself, but your body is going to force you to continuously think about the situation and to think about the necessity of the drug itself. Your body physically changes on a chemistry level, on a biological level. You physically are changing to desire it, or you at least need it, and you become so dependent. So I say, yes, to some degree, I can exhibit the desire to change. And in some cases, for some individuals that are praiseworthy because they were able to say, I understand, I need to change, I need to get out of this. And they have the will, but that's not with everyone. Everyone doesn't have the will or the strength or the upbringing to prepare them to come out of that.
And that's why you have to let it go, bro. And that's why
I don't think letting it go is the answer.
I'm throwing another layer.
Okay.
I was like that, right? The only thing that got me to change was the fact that I acknowledged that it was a problem. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of people come and tell me that it was a problem. A lot of people tell me that I could have made better decisions. So now I have something that I can resonate with them with. I understand at their level why it's hard to get over. But it's not impossible. And we shouldn't give anybody the feeling that it is. Yes, it is hard. It's very difficult. I agree. It's difficult as fuck. But it can be done. Especially if you have people that actually really want to like help you with that situation, but again, it like really seeing that for myself for the first hand is like, yes, this wouldn't have happened if I didn't feel like this needed to happen.
Yeah.
That like that's just the bottom line. And I feel like that for everybody, even on a biological level, because like, yes, I can say from here to the sunset, my relatives are addicted to such and such and such and such. So it's like, okay, you can say it runs in the family, but that's still on me to change it. Because even if it runs in the family, I as an individual have a responsibility to take care of myself.
Right. So
if I'm acknowledging that it's a problem, and yes, even though I'm acknowledging it's a problem, I still have the physical, the wants, the cravings, like, I'm irritable and whatever bullshit. But like, you can fight through that. I'm gonna be 100% honest.
You can fight through that, but
it's just very rough. And I agree. You definitely need. No, because I don't feel like you need a guiding hand. I feel like you need to really just say, "Yo, this is a problem."
And it'll be.
Then again, though, I can't speak on harder drugs that have more of a hold on you, like
I was gonna say that
because getting out of that hole sometimes it's definitely hard to get out that hole sometimes. Sometimes being in there for so long. Especially if you've been there for like
that's true.
If you've been there for like 3-4 years and that's all you've been and that's all you've been thinking about being in there, it's hard to get out. It's hard to go back to being like how you was before. It's hard to be back to being like, the 9-to-5 guy. It's hard to be back to being that. It's hard to be back to being that 9-to-5 guy. It's hard to be you again.
I think this is why I like philosophy so much, because it allows me to look at the broader, like the reason for living. That is to say, not necessarily the I want to say the psychological reasoning, but more of the reasoning that we have given to ourselves, our existential meaning in the situation. I think, when you go down that route, when you go down the route of being homeless, for the individuals that are addicted to something and they can't seem to be stable, I think because with all that added pressure, I think once you get to that level, there is such an absolutely crushing amount of nihilism in that one area of living. If you are homeless, there almost seems like not a single ray of hope, that you think that nothing has meaning, that your life has meaning, it has no meaning. Not that it has meaning, but you don't have meaning. You feel like everything that you've done up until this point doesn't matter, that you don't matter. And that, in my opinion, from what I understand, is something that possibly may plague individuals that are homeless for a very long amount of time.
Definitely.
So it's kind of on top of that with an addiction and drug dependence, because drug dependence and so on and so forth is different. If you feel like there's a meaning to life, you can use that meaning, religion, philosophy, or the desire to live better. You can use that as a way to support your will to get over it. But if you have nihilism, if you don't believe that there's a meaning to going on, that's like putting the top of a prison on the prison. That's like you having the ceiling on it, where before it was a prison, but there's a light above you. Now there's no light. It's just dark. There's no way out. The warden threw away the keys. You're stuck. You got no way out. And I feel like those are the individuals that if you were constantly with them, constantly trying to pull the roof off of them, because there's only three answers to nihilism. Either you commit suicide, you commit ideology suicide, or I forgot the correct terminology for it, or you embrace the absurd. And that's only for a rare few people. The third option, majority of people pick the first option.
Yeah, which is either they're gonna just
they're gonna commit suicide.
I'm already
and
in this
so
hole.
it's even worse.
I'm
already
in this hole, and I'm just gonna go, and I don't really care anymore.
Yeah,
I don't really
exactly.
care.
And
But
that's
it's
like
hard.
a terrible situation. So I think to some degree, for the individuals that do have some type of faith to fall in, or have a belief that there is a meaning to your life, I think yes, eventually they will come out on the level of or at least step out of that hole with some assistance. But I think extreme assistance is needed for the individuals that aren't have an existential belief, that are nihilistic, because those are the hardest ones to change their mind if their view on life is dark as all darkness can be. So I think it's a very dangerous and a multi-layer answer. Like you guys said, like we all agree on, it's nuanced. Not every situation is going to work, but I think if you have a philosophical approach or even a religious approach, so anything against nihilism, you cannot have it with nihilism. You need to be against it. Anything that's against that, and you're going into that with the opposite effect to help homeless individuals, that's 10 times better than anything else, in my opinion. So I mean, I don't know, the situation is just difficult. Yeah.
And also living in New York has been crazy. Seeing it like this, it's like the rate of homeless rate is definitely it's crazy. Definitely crazy. You go anywhere in Manhattan, you go anywhere in the Bronx, you're gonna see it. It's like in your face. It's gonna be in your face 24/7. It's going to be right in front of you. And it doesn't really it doesn't necessarily matter at all. So it's like it's real crazy. So for me, difficult. It's not really difficult. Hopefully New York can figure it out and fixing it. So hopefully. But our next thing is what about like train service? What do you think that they can upgrade in that sense?
Honestly, the only thing they really could do is just
get rid of
That's it. give us bullet trains and try to make some of these stops a little more cleaner. Like I understand they can't look at each and every single stop, but let's take like a Times Square. It's very busy, it's very populated. A lot of people see this day in, day out. You have to definitely make this look more not just acceptable, but like just nice. Like I don't want to.
Because every train, I feel like every train I got on, it's either real old. It's either the trains are real old or they're just really bad. I've been on different trains and I've been on express trains going up and down. Local, I don't like it. I think local trains need to be a lot more faster. I think and I shouldn't have to just take the Metro North to get like to Grand Central or something like that a little faster than a local.
With the local train service, I do agree with you. I think for that one, we would have to study up the numbers of like how many trains are active during the day, because it does seem like there's a lot of delays. That I would guess that's probably my main problem: the amount of delays on trains. There's just shit that happen. A passenger falls over. Like a fight broke out.
A homeless dude is just like, you know what? I'm high right now. I'm gonna jump on the tracks. I don't really care right now. I don't. Care. I don't care. So it's like it's more crazier and crazier every time on train stations.
But we're in a simple technical sense, like what would very benefit everybody would be to convert it to bullet trains. However, since a lot of things are underground, instead of more elevated trains, I don't think they'll be able to do that.
Someone told they said put massage chairs in trains.
yo, we ain't lying. Like they even have some of the bus seats, those little soft
those city trains. The city trains.
Gone.
Oh my god, those city trains. Those city buses, the buses that go to like them BX buses.
Them BX buses.
Those BX buses is crazy. It's
yo, I would go off on that shit.
I would like you give me some seats on like you ever been on a Greyhound bus? You ever been on one of those?
Yeah, them Greyhounds.
Yeah.
I had one going up to Intercom sometimes. Bro, those shits is comfortable.
So it's like and also please clean the trains. Please clean them.
they one thing I will give them is that they do that. They're very much on it now. I see them doing it a lot more frequently. Mm-hmm. Like they'll wait till you get to the last stop to clean it. Mm-hmm. Like halfway through the track to clean it. Then the other last stop to clean it the third time. I think that's pretty valid.
Because the only clean train you really got in New York is dead ass the Metro North. The Metro North is the Metro North in the Metro North is clean. The Metro North is clean.
The only trains we got is the Metro North.
That's clean.
If Master Splinter ain't at the station, it's not a good station.
I have never been in a dirty Metro North station. I mean,
that's 100% true. Metro North, bro, they know how to take care of shit.
It's never dirty. They even tell you can't eat on a train. You can't do none of that. Cannot do none of that. They will tell you to put the food away. They're not playing no games on the Metro.
Because they won't be fucking around. Exactly.
Yeah, they don't play no games. Exactly. They don't play that. That's like the
only
thing that's like cool.
I would say aside from the things they could do with cleaning the train stations, the only thing is really hinging on us. It would be like let's say we're a class, right, on a school trip. They're gonna tell you to act on your best behavior, not act rowdy on the bus and shit. Like just apply that to all of us on the train system. It's like, yo, y'all doing the fucking most. It's 8 in the morning. Like you really are wilding on the train.
When I used to,
people are just getting to work. You know what I mean?
When I used to work in the city, it was you had the thing I used to hate about getting on a train is also you had people come into the train and they're either gonna entertain you, sell you something, or there's gonna be somebody asking you for money. And it's always those three things always. And it's always either they're gonna hit you in the morning or it's gonna be night or it's gonna be during the afternoon. Rarely you see nighttime dancing. Rarely. Mm-hmm. You mostly see it in the
You gotta come down to Tom's. Well, I feel you. I do feel you. It isn't like because like the daytime you see it everywhere. Harlem, Bronx,
oh my
Brooklyn,
god,
like everywhere.
everybody's getting light. I remember it.
Now with that one, honestly, bro, it used to be annoying, but it's like, yo, you're just trying to get by the same way I'm trying to get by.
Yeah.
You know, I can't really say much.
There was a dude on the train. There was a dude on the train. Me and my boy was on, and a dude was getting light, and he kicked the lady by an accident. Kicked the lady, and the lady was screaming at him. The lady was wilding on him. The lady was really bugging out. She was not playing. She was like, "Yo, you're not doing like, please don't do that. Don't ever do something like that ever again." Like, you know, you have a lot of people that just get on the train, you know, day by day. We just had something crazy happen on the train in New York where a dude threw a whole smoke grenade and shot the whole train up. So it's like it's also that too. You're gonna have to, like, now trains are gonna be, not saying well protected, but you're gonna have to put more effort into protecting people on trains, cause you never know, some stuff like that. That's something that's rarely happening, but that can happen again, because you never know with people. You never know. And people are going to work 8 in the morning, getting shot at. Who's doing that at 8 in the morning?
So, look, listen. I don't like trains. That's about it. I don't like trains. I don't like trains. I don't like planes. I barely like cars. I don't like planes. I absolutely.
Is it claustrophobia?
Not claustrophobia. I just don't like. I don't like anything that moves faster than a horse.
Anything that's mobile, you don't like it. So you don't even like riding like a bike or nothing like that? Like, what's going on?
A bike moves within like some degree. You know, I can chill on a bike. You know what I mean? Like I have the ability to enjoy the wind on my hair. I can't feel the train moving fast on, you know, my face or the wind without zooming right out the window or something. Or I can't go outside a plane. The pressure's zoom. It's over. I'm gonna be flying. Like, I'm gonna be a bird. So it's over. I can't do anything. So I'm not even gonna try and do any of that stuff. So
listen,
I'm just scared of the height. That's one. I'm scared of the speed, because if I hit something, it's gonna be.
No, I do agree.
It's gonna be an invincible moment. The whole train, everybody getting washed off the walls.
Oh, look, it's invincible.
It's invincible.
and it's gonna hold, and the dude's gonna hold you just through the whole train.
So
it didn't just make
it's over. I'm not dealing with it. So I'd rather have none of those situations happen. A car, barely, and that's because that's the only other fast mode of transportation. Okay. But like, I at least to some degree can have control over those things, you know. But I don't trust not a single person when it comes to like transportation. I don't trust it. You know, other things I can trust, sure. I gotta trust some things, but transportation, I'm good.
I mean, unless you're gonna, what are you gonna do?
Honestly, I do, because I used to let that paranoia get to me until I actually had to use the trains often. It was like, the most annoying part of it is the delays, but that's due to somebody having an accident like halfway across town.
Yeah.
And then it's like, damn, I'm already late for work now. I'm like mega late for work because of this. You know, or like I'm midway through my shift, and then people are fighting like Times Square or some shit. Now they want to shut down every train.
Or it has to, or it has to be,
y'all didn't catch them because they're already gone.
It has to be like a real bad rainstorm too, also, for like the trains to get delayed, because for some reason,
rainstorms, bro, in them Q trains, bro, like that whole yellow line,
because New York subway, New York sewer system and their draining system is literally stupid, because their draining system and their sewer system is the same. They it's the same thing. Like and that's what happened. That's why you see a lot of Manhattan streets when it rains a lot, it floods. Because they drain the water within that sewer water. Like, they don't have a separate thing. So a lot of those streets get flooded out, and it's like crazy. You remember that bad rainstorm, and it was like the whole train itself, everything was soaked, everything. That was like, I think that was last year. I think that was last year during Corona, if I'm not mistaken. I think we had like a real
I
bad rainstorm.
think so.
Like it was,
Because
like it
I
was.
think it was flooding. It was like flash flooding, right?
Yeah,
It was a
yeah,
warning
yeah,
for
yeah. It
flash
was really
flooding.
bad.
Yeah, my entire basement got flooded. Entire basement, whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep, it was over. I was terrified. Well, I wasn't terrified because I was the one that had to help out with undraining most of it when it was getting to that point. But then, I went, after my my honeymoon and so on and so forth, after just recently getting married, I came back, everything in the bottom was flooded. I got a message. That was a bad time. That was like a bad summer,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
That was
I didn't like it.
That was like a real. There was like where I worked. It was like a real bad mudslide, and the Metro North couldn't go through the area. They had to delay. The Metro North had to run on the other side. They had to skip. They skipped the stop that it always goes to. They just skipped everything. And running through. It wasn't running for a couple of days. It was really, really bad.
It was really bad.
That's also a thing too. That really, really sucks about living here.
New York. I don't like New York weather at all. I'm gonna be so honest. I hate New York weather. I hate it with a passion because it's like Florida, except that Florida was.
Just for Florida have more snow.
Yeah.
If Florida just spoke more.
Just smoked more.
Spoke more.
Spoke more.
Yeah.
Spoke more. I mean,
or talked more. I'm sorry.
Improper I don't know. I think New York's weather is definitely. You're definitely in a boat. It's definitely like Florida, and it's definitely really, really weird because it'll be like 1 hour where 1 hour would be so hot, and then the next minute it rains, and then it's like, and then the rain will come out of nowhere, and it'll be like a real rainstorm, and it'll be like, oh yeah, but then we're right back to being sunny again, and then it's like, come on, like even the weather.
It's like a third. Then it's like 100-degree humidity. Then it's freaking. What else do we got? Like we got freaking humidity, snowstorms, bad snowstorms, winter flooding, freaking hurricanes that could be bad.
You just get a bit of everything.
Yeah.
One thing I will be grateful for is that we don't get tornadoes because of the amount of hills we have.
Yeah.
I'm so glad for that. I am so glad for that because if we had tornadoes, I'd move. I wouldn't be able to.
I wouldn't want to. Yeah.
I still want to because, I agree with you. The weather out here is pretty disgusting, but it's only because I'm pretty much a reptile. Like, I love the heat. Like, give me the 100-degree weather. To be honest,
you serious? I'm a polar bear. I can't stand the heat. I'd rather be up freaking north.
I can respect it, but bro, the ice, I turn into a popsicle. I hate the cold. I hate the snow. Cannot do it.
I like every.
That would start up a debate. Do you actually like the cold, or do you like the fact that you can stay inside more?
I like the cold.
Dang, don't do that.
Because one time I thought about it, I'm like, y'all all say y'all love the cold, but like y'all are just in the house where it's warm.
No. I like the cold. I like the cold only because it's like. I feel like I don't have, I'm not sweating. Like, as I'm walking, I'm not sweating. I may be freezing.
True, the sweat is annoying.
I may be freezing, but I'm not really sweating all day.
You know what it is? I can deal with the heat I can deal with the heat if I have wind. If you give me breeze, like I'm talking about good breeze, and it's 100 degrees, I'm chilling. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. Yeah. I'll deal with 100 degrees. I'll be okay with it. The reason I don't like heat is because of New York, and because the heat is added on top with the humidity. It'll be 100 degrees of heat and 100% humidity, and I would not want to step outside.
And it will be. Why would you? You know what else? It'll be no shade, and you wouldn't be able to find a shady building at all. That'll be dumb. That's like one of the most annoying things, especially when I used to work for Amazon in the city. Oh no, I used to hate it in the heat. I used to hate it because I used to be like, you know what? I'm pulling up in shorts and having my shirt on, and that's it. Like, and I'll pull this car up and down. But like, you got to give me some shade because I cannot work in if it's like 95 straight 70% humidity. No, I'm not doing that. I'm good. I'm good. You got to give me something else. You got to give me You gotta give me some wind, and I need a bunch of water with me the whole day.
Oh yeah, definitely. Water is vital, I would say. Nah, it was just due to me being born in the summer and life experiences. Like I just agree with the heat. Like it doesn't matter how hot I'm getting as long as I'm outside because it can always be cold. That's my main thought. It's like, yo, it doesn't matter how hot it gets out here. Like that one time we had 110 degrees. Like I went out skating, and a couple of my boys are like, I'm kind of crazy for going out here, but it's like, nah, because when we're sitting there in the middle of December and I'm downright just heated at all of this fucking snow shit, bro, I'm gonna look back on these days and I'm gonna either regret that I didn't go out or I'm gonna be happy that I did.
Yeah.
So I think another so all right, going back to the top. The cold and the I'm muted. No, I'm not muted. What
no. I didn't say anything.
I'm muted.
You being muted. I was saying, I was reading my chat. I was more that. All right, so I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read a little bit of my chat log. So
give us the chat log.
So my boy Sammy said, "Unique looks like unique." Then he called me Whoopi Goldberg from Sister Act. Because of my hair. That's really. He said he said the number one thing that y'all need to do in the cold is put on a North Face. But I don't.
I feel you.
In the cold, I'll be wearing a hoodie and be perfectly
fine. If anything,
fine.
I'll give you my whole thing.
I don't wear jackets. I don't wear big coats in the cold.
The cold, for the most part, affects my hands, and it's like I hate having. I feel like I can't do anything. It's like I'm trying to move them, trying to get the blood circulation going back, but then you really gotta shake. You gotta do the clammy shit. It's like just to get some basic movement in my hands is crazy. Aside from that, I really dislike sludge. All that shit when snow hits the ground, it gets dirty from the streets and whatnot. It's like, yo, this is fucking disgusting. Like if I'm being 100% honest, it's like, yo, there's nothing beautiful about this. It's like, yes, when the snow first comes down, it looks nice. Everything's all covered in white, it's cute. Then, bro, day 2, everything is just shitty.
Oh, I don't. That's the only thing I don't like about snow is when it does get to that slushy part. Oh no, I'm not going outside. I hate that slushy. Like once it gets to slushy, it's disgusting. It gets to that point where it's like, you can't really walk. Like,
for real. Then it's like I have my Timbs on and whatnot. I got my work boots. But like it's still crazy out here.
Make some slippable. Can somebody make some slippable unslippable boots or something like that for New Yorkers? Do you think so?
I see. Okay.
I'm sorry. No, it's not possible because everyone that comes from New York hates New York. So I mean, everyone, we don't like each other. Like, why I'm gonna help you? Like, I'm not gonna see you again. Like, okay, step away from me. That's basically what New York is. Like, you don't talk to anybody, you don't chill with anybody unless you know them, and you have to know them. Not even like you want to know them, unless you know what you're doing. But even then, you still don't know what you're doing because you don't know if this person's psychotic. You don't know if this person's in the game or is affiliated to some degree. I mean, that's kind of rare in between anyway. But like even so, still, like, come on, let's be honest. Let's be very honest. Like, why do I have to know you? I really don't. I'm not going to even try. Like,
if I'm keeping
Trey Guns, if I was to walk next to you and you said something to me, I'd answer you, but then I'll just walk away because I have no reason to look at you any further. That's basically what New York is. No. We're individual to a team.
No, that is what New York is. That is what it is.
New York,
I'm gonna tell you why right now. I do that. I went from coming from small town Yonkers, like, yeah, I'm trying to be cool with everybody, trying to be known. Fuck that. Yeah. I don't give a fuck who knows me out here, bro. I'd rather, like, if I'm keeping it a whole stack with you, I'd rather be a ghost out here.
I'd rather be a ghost.
Like, and don't get me wrong, I've tried. As I said, I skated and shit. I went to skate parks. I was vocal. I was local. I was like, yo, I'm here. I'm trying to fuck with y'all. But it's like I don't know, bro. It's something about people out here that really just has me like I don't care to know you.
Yeah,
You
because
know, it's
Right.
like you see me like I'm just a tall black guy. That's it. That's all you need to know.
everybody
You know?
and when you go to like to the city and stuff like that, they're all wild bougie. They're wild bougie.
Yo.
Nobody wants to know you. Nobody cares about you. You're just another
That's the
person.
same. That's the same thing in Yonkers.
No,
what are you
it's not.
talking
No, it's
about?
not. No, it's not.
Yeah,
Yo.
yes, it is. Yes,
No,
it is.
no, it's
Watch,
not.
The
watch,
only reason why
watch how you respond to this
No, it's
question.
not. No, it's
why
not.
Yes, it
not
is.
like that.
Yes, it is.
I got you, Unique. I got you. The only reason why it's not like that is because we all grew up with each other and we had to know each other.
And everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everybody.
But if everybody moves to New York or to somewhere else, I guarantee you that like at least 60% of them are not gonna want to fuck with anybody like that they don't already know. You know, especially with the whole stigma surrounding New York and all your bouginess. It's like that's a fact. You know, like I came genuine. It was like, yeah, you know, I don't know people around here. I'm trying to be cool with you. I'm trying to be down. You know, and I got shafted. But it was like it didn't necessarily hurt. It was just like, you know, I should have expected. It is New York after all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I do agree with you. People don't give a fuck, but it's like neither am I if that's the case.
Do y'all think that California is like, you know, like us?
Like
Hollywood?
bougie?
I think California is like
yeah, like do you think that like
more
you know Hollywood, you know
Hollywood, hell yeah.
it is like the
probably
synonym for New York City?
Probably,
like we're the same thing pretty much.
Probably like I think of Los Angeles like being like Manhattan, right? Probably Los Angeles people are probably more like that than like Los Angeles and Manhattan people are probably the same. They're probably like, yeah, we just walk past you. You're just nobody. We don't care. Like they're probably more like that. Probably like other cities in California probably are more like, you know, intertwined. People probably like how Yonkers. There's probably like I wouldn't say Yonkers is pretty small, but everybody knows everybody here. Like everybody knows everybody here.
Everybody knows everybody, bro. That's exactly why we know each other.
Like
that's exactly, you know.
Like I could be like, I could be like, yo, I knew you when you was 5 years old because we used to play basketball together. Then know this guy when he was 10 years old, and then it keeps on going. Everybody knows everybody. You will see the same 10 people every day in Yonkers.
Tell me about it. You'll see them all the time.
You will see them every day. Every day you will see them go to the supermarket. You will see them go to the square. You will see them do anything in Yonkers. You will see them in Cross County.
Yeah, just on a random day, bro. You know, you're like, oh wow, look at my friend.
Like, yo, bro, like, how you been? Like, you know, it's more like that. But like Manhattan, I don't think it's more like that. I think Manhattan, like, people are just like, yeah, get out of my way because everybody's walking. Everybody has a job.
Get out of my way.
Get out of my way. Like. But
I have heard though from some of my relatives who do live up here, it is kind of somewhat like Yonkers in the way people do know everybody. But when I heard that, it kind of really blew mine. Like, if I'm being extremely honest, because for the longest time, people used to say, "Nah, bro, Yonkers is basically the suburbs compared to the city. That's why y'all know each other, right?" Okay, I can hear that. But then if that's the case, how do y'all know each other?
Yeah.
Like, you're pretty much telling me that y'all have the same scale of like friendships and whatnot that we did. You all know each other from school. You all were on the same block. You all grew up with each other. Like, there is no difference. The only difference is the sense of scale. You know. So that's one thing. And then it's like, yeah. Speaking of sense of scale, when I moved out here, that was exactly what you said, Trey. Like, every day I see somebody different.
Everybody. I've been here my all my 25 years life. Literally, it's everybody knows everybody. Like, you're gonna see these people every single day. It's never gonna change. It's never gonna be a situation where it's like, yo, bro, you know, you would know who the new kids is on the block, who they are, because they would know, because somebody would know them from somewhere else. Like, it's always like that. Like, I'll be the new kid on the block, and then I'll, like, when I first moved over where I live at in Yonkers, being a new kid on the block, the first thing I did was I went to the park and immediately knew like a few people because I went to school with them that lived on the side of town. So then it's like, and then it keeps on going like that, like the circle and everything.
I'll, I'm gonna be honest. The only place I really don't that I despise more than New York City is Yonkers.
How do you?
And I only despise it because I've lived there for so long that everything looks annoying to me. Like I walk down the street and I get annoyed just
I
by
agree with
being in
you.
the area.
I agree with
And
you.
I'm so glad I moved away from Yonkers. I'm still in New York, so it's not even that far. But like, come on,
Yeah, to be
are
out of
you
Yonkers is nice.
serious?
Yeah, that is. It is nice.
Yeah, it
And
is.
I agree with you because like I noticed that I had that same thing a couple times. I go down to visit my best friends or like check up on my mom and whatnot, and then it's just like yeah, like being here just gets me annoyed. It's like yo, oh Yonkers, like fuck, that
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
same
Right,
fucking McDonald's everywhere. Like yo, I'm tight looking at this.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and it's not
right.
like yo, fuck Yonkers just because I left. It's just I really don't like being there.
Yeah,
you know,
my thing is in the summertime I don't even like being in Yonkers either. I'd rather be in the city. I'd rather
I
be
like
somewhere else.
anywhere else. Word.
Why do you
Because
think that is? Like I hear a lot of people like start to like
I hear
say
a
that
lot of
they
people
don't
think
want to be in the
Yonkers
same
has a
place. So
dark
why do you
cloud.
think it is the
But
case
if I'm
that
being
we
honest with you,
leave our
yeah, go ahead.
home?
I'm
You
sorry.
know,
Finish your thought.
Mhm.
yeah. No, all I was saying was why do you think that that's the case that we uh as young individuals really either grapple to where we live or say like you know what, even though I had a pretty good childhood, I really just don't want to be living here for the rest of my life, and they just leave. Like, why do you think
I,
that is?
I feel like it's a combo. Like I'll just say it off of what I felt. I do not want to be 40 seeing the same people I've seen at 10.
Yeah.
Like I don't care how that looks. I don't care how that sounds. It's just the truth. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I have nothing wrong with growing up with you, but like yo, the city taught me how big the world is. And like the fact that I'm choosing not to explore it, but actively just stay here with the same people I grew up with,
Mhm.
kind of doesn't sit well with
Right.
me. You know, add to that, it's just fact. You grew up seeing the same area, seeing the same individuals. The problem you had with somebody like 5 years ago, you probably still have, only because y'all are in the same vicinity. And it's like, it's a bunch of bullshit. And I'd really rather not be in the middle of it.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's
You.
like, all right, I like, let's say I have a group of people I don't fuck with. Now I still have to see you every single day because
Mhm.
not only is this town so small, but we both fuck with the same group of people, or like you have your group, I have my group, and then there's people in the middle that we both fuck with.
Mhm.
But through interacting with them, I have to interact with you, creating unnecessary bullshit, and I don't need to do that. You know, it's also like a lot of us grew up in Yonkers, and we did a lot of dumb shit, and people are just trying to get away from that dumb shit. It's like, yo, why do I keep reminding myself of my past by being here? It's like, yeah, I can let it go, but like you're still in my face. Like we don't have to do this, you know. And then facts, as we get older and as we see more of the world, it's like, why am I not there? When we start figuring out what we actually want out of lives and that what we want out of ourselves as individuals, it's like, all right, why am I staying? Makes it feel like I'm stuck. Yeah, as if like, I'm gonna live and die in the same place I was born in. Like that's crazy. Like, and if anybody feels that way, it's nothing against them. It's just all personal. Like I could not do that, nor do I want to, because it was like, yeah, we grew up. I was a really goofy kid. I was trying to be friends with everybody, as I kept saying. And then there was just one too many situations that had me like, yeah, you know what? No, we're not doing this. I would say the next thing is the fact that people only really remember you as how you are versus trying to look at you. I mean, they only remember you how you were versus trying to look at you as how you are now. Like I hear that so often. Like people still look at me as if I was the same 17-year-old me with the same quirks, the same reactions to shit.
Mhm.
It's like that man is dead. I don't know how many times I can say that. I don't know how many times I can really discuss that.
Mhm.
You know, because it's like, yeah, you do have all these memories of how I used to be, but you're acting like somebody can't develop into a more mature person. Like y'all act like y'all don't know how maturity works. And it's really crazy to try to explain that to people that you
Yeah.
grew up with. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that's highly annoying.
Because they'll be like, oh, I remember when you
Like,
was
yeah,
13, when you
you
was
were such
13
and
years
such,
old,
you act
remember?
like this and this, and it's like that guy is dead.
Yeah. No,
Like just get over it. Like he does not exist.
no.
You know, but I've realized that you really can't do that. You cannot explain that no matter how much you try to. And you need to just let it go and live your life.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know?
Yeah.
Pretty much. You know what? Listen, guys, this is a great episode.
Yeah, it's a good episode. A
This
little
this
short.
is a real short. We're gonna be back on Wednesday, and we're gonna be here. We're gonna be back Wednesday. 2 hours is just we're gonna get back. We're gonna get back to our time that we normally do. We'll be back to 2 hours, but we are gonna cut it short. And I hope you guys have a good night.
Enjoy your night.
Enjoy everything.
Word, y'all have a great night, man.
Stay safe.
Thank you for these comments, the interaction.
Yeah,
greatly
thank you guys for the
appreciated.
interactions tonight, and also don't be outside. Don't be drinking tonight. Drive safe.
Yes, like, subscribe, share, follow.
Yes,
follow all of comment. When we do these things, comment, interact with us.
Yeah,
as much as we have a dialogue with each other, the more the merrier. So
follow us on all platforms too. Also, all of our platforms
are yes.
All of our platforms should be in the description of the video. I'm definitely gonna do that, and we're gonna get everything situated. And also tomorrow we'll be back tomorrow at 8:00. If not 8:00, we're probably gonna be back. We're probably gonna be here. I said tomorrow, Wednesday. Either 8:00 tomorrow. Either 8:00 or 9. We're gonna be back on Wednesday. And it's gonna be fun. Catch out my stream tomorrow. I'm definitely probably gonna play 2K tomorrow, I think.
And I am probably going to have a new streaming service for anyone that would like to listen. So please wait for that. It will be out and it will be on fire. And look at his hair waving. All right, so let's cut it short. And everyone,